boom, 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 boom. Smite regular season's over. Getting time to the postseason. Let's break it down. Now, you've already seen the skill shot video as far as what the format is. If you haven't seen the skill shot video, here's the quick and dirty. Essentially, season's over. Now it's time to get ready for Smite World Championship at HRX at DreamHack Atlanta. Mouthful. All it means is good Smite at DreamHack. It's going to be dope. And so the placement round to begin, and then the nature. So basically, November 5th, this is what we see. The placement round shows up, and this is the rest. The 4 best teams in the world, theoretically, the top 2 North American, top 2 European teams, are not on this bracket. This is what begins November 5th, and this is a double elimination bracket for everyone else. This is just the top side. There's going to be a bottom side, as I said. Double elim. Not my favorite, but I like it here, and I'll tell you why. So you've got the 4 teams that win here, finals winner, finals loser, and then down below, 1 and 2, will become the 4 teams that go and join players at the SWC. At DreamHack, essentially. Dignitas and Energy, Splice and United. These are the 4 teams that have already qualified, and the top 4 teams in the placement round will be able to join them here. So, what I like about this, and it goes against what I usually talk about, is that this is essentially a regular season in and of itself. It's a super squished regular season, and that's how I'm thinking about it. And that's how I really like it. So the regular season throughout Smite just includes NA and EU, and honestly is separate in themselves. We don't get to see NA and EU play. There's no interleague play like there is in baseball. So what you get is, you get, in this world of North America, these 2 came on top. And in this world of Europe, these 2 came on top. And those are their regular seasons. And then following that up, in this world of Southeast Asia, CIS is just Paladins, but Southeast Asia, and then you've got LATAM, then you've got Brazil, and you've got the one I'm missing, Oceania. And I think that these teams are... It's not right to sort of toss them into the mix based on their individual performances in their individual regions, because they don't really get to slot up against each other regularly. Now, that always feels haphazard to me, because if you toss everybody in, even if it's just a bye, the best teams get a bye, and then everybody else has to play 1 round. It doesn't seem like a good enough... I don't really care about the regular season at that point as a player. Where... the regular season is the journey. It's where I get to see you start, play a bunch of games, and not just be the best from the beginning, but perhaps find the splice effect. Find what it is that makes your team strong, makes your team relevant, and then go ahead and be able to succeed off of that. That's where the regular season comes down, and then it's crunch time. Season ends, you get snapshotted, you're sort of gifted based on your performance, and then you go forward and trudge into the postseason. That's how it's supposed to go in my eyes, and I understand there's a lot of different mentalities out there. So traditionally, I don't like the way esports is handled traditionally, because there's 2 things at play. One is that it's entertainment and everybody wants to see their favorite team, so they get double elimination because it appeases the viewers. And 2, a lot of esports infrastructure is just not there. So regular season is not happening or not plausible, so they have event-based systems. When you look at the fighting game community, Capcom Pro Tour is kind of an in-betweener. When you look at the fighting game community, you look at things like tennis, you look at things like boxing, you look at things like Counter-Strike. They all play majors, right? US Open, Augusta for golf. You have Face It in London and ESL 1 and in New York in Katowice for Counter-Strike, right? For Dota, you've got a similar situation. There's no, this is when competition begins. They play games on a schedule until this is when competition ends. It's all just tournaments. And so, since there's nothing leading into that, that has to be invite whoever, double elimination, see how they work out, because this is all you get in this capsule, right? We have the luxury of a developer, Hi-Res Studios, and a platform, Skillshot Media, that allows us to really have a regular season and do all that. So I want to see the teams work hard and find themselves in a good spot towards the end because of that hard work. And I think that this format really fucking nails it. Because on the one hand, you want to gift the teams that did very well their opportunity to go ahead and supersede the riffraff, the rest of the. There's a tournament that's going to happen the way I just mentioned. Everybody shows up, and you're going to find the best of the best. But if you performed your face-off in the regular season, specifically the fall split, then you get to skip that if you're North America and EU. Elephant in the room. Why just NA and EU and not the international teams? Because they're better. The international teams are are theoretically on the same level as the not top North American teams. Historically, we've gotten to see, Nocturnes go up against Energy and fucking lose all the time. Because they're Energy. Most teams will look bad. Now we get to see Nocturnes go up against Luminosity and then Obey. That's that's reasonable. You can talk about that. They're probably on the same power level in a theoretical world. And so these teams fight against each other. And in a theoretical world, the top North American and the top European teams are so much better than those that, one, they might even taint the competition had they been on the lower bracket, and two, reward you for your regular season. So the way I'm looking at it is you've got your regular season in NA and EU and internationally, and that's how we find the best of the best. And now we're having a crash course 5-day regular season. This is essentially a regular season, right? Latin America, which will be Nocturnes most likely. Latin America plays Luminosity in a best of 3. Then the winner plays Obey in a best of 3. Then the winner of these games plays a best of 3. And then all of these play best of 3s. And then we do it all again. It's a ton of competition. And I think that's going to find real people to join this bracket. So I feel like we have the regular season 1, which is where we have every single competitive Smite team, right? There's an arbitrary line where we say you're good or you're bad. And all teams on the good side played. And now we have the best of those teams. And now we're having another regular season. It just happens to be 5 days long. And then after that, and all these are going to be like 12-hour days. And then after that, only then, do we go into the true postseason. The Smite World Championship. And I think that this really satiates me in a world where I don't like double elimination. I don't like non-competitive regular seasons. I don't like complaints about X team going against Y team and not being able to see your squad enough. I think this format kind of helps everybody. I think the regular season matters with the DreamHack bracket. I think this kind of mini regular season is a way to see how all the international competition stacks up against itself, including North America versus Europe, because we don't get to see them play against each other. This is the best format, I think, that the Smite World Championship has had in the 5 years that it's been doing it. And I think that this is a really cool move looking forward to other esports. I think this is a nice way to do things. I think this is a cool jump off, and perhaps not publicly because it does not behoove you to shit where you eat. League Ops makes Cooper is great at his job. He's made some good decisions. He's made some bad decisions. That's my homie. That's my teammate. So if I don't like what he's doing, I'm going to talk about it behind the scenes. I'm not going to tweet out that he fucking sucks. But I think I'm a person. I think it's fair to say that I have not always thought every single thing that Skillshot or High Res or League Ops has done has been a slam dunk. I think this is a 360 windmill slam. I love this format. I think it can be improved. I think there's some things that could be changed, of course. But I think this is an opportunity for all teams to show that they've got, as well as I don't really need to see shitty teams. I don't need to really see, man, I can't even think of an example of one of those bad teams that get on my level kind of stomps. I don't need to see how they're going to do against Sheriff and Barracuda. I don't. So I'm happy for this. Next up, we're going to talk about why your favorite teams are not in as much trouble as you think. The break between the placement round and the regular season is important. So That's it. Let me know. We're going to be putting out a bunch of videos. It's the 21st today. Placement stage begins on the 5th. I probably got work a little bit before then. We're going to be dropping videos. We're going to talk about teams in depth a little bit. Let me know what teams you want to see. And if there's anything else you want to talk about regarding Smite, HRX, or shit. Right now I'm Smite focused, but you know this is a bigger than that channel. Any dot takes you want, comments, etc. Peace. Oh wait, I got an outro. Peace. And much love to you. Boom, boom,